Hey, what's up? Um, it has been an absolutely beautiful day. It's been like just a spectacularly, say that 10 times fast. Beautiful day. Spent the day at the beach with Bella. Keys are all. It's a gorgeous sunset. I mean, what? Like, my hair's gonna. I was in the sun today. Can't tell. But I was just telling somebody that I know something, and it's the fact that our brains hallucinate. It's not like you're high or something, but just our brains make up color. There's no such thing as color. The light reflects or refracts off of things. Say, I mean, anything like this dog treat bag. It's like yellow and blue, or at least that's what my eyes see. But because of the spectrum that the light reflects off the bag, and it absorbs yellow, so my eyes see yellow, and so do yours. But this makes sense about why, like, people are some people are colorblind, mostly men. But it's just such a trippy thing that our brains make up so much. And if you think about it, you can apply that to just about everything. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I was telling them, we were talking about like motivation and things like that. And I said, motivation's bullshit. You're either doing something or you're not, like it's not motivation is it's a lot more rare emotion than people think it is. And so, we sit around and kind of talk about motivation or wait to feel motivated, and we never do. Rarely. It's rare. And I was telling them, it's motivation's bullshit. Like, you're either disciplined or you're not. That's just the long and short of it. Like, you're either disciplined or you're not. There is no motivation, really, not really. And like the same thing with color. Like, and I was also telling this person, like, if you want to do something, you want to get something done, you have to find ways to, say you want to change your eating habits. Okay. One of the easiest ways that I found to do it is to trick your brain, excuse me, into seeing, trick your brain into having an incentive to do it. Say you want to exercise more. Well, what is the incentive for that? Like, maybe you're not motivated to get up and exercise, but like maybe you do want to feel better, sleep better, feel better, like have a better mood. Maybe you're depressed and you don't want to deal with depression anymore. That's a huge incentive. And you don't want to take medication because you don't actually need it. And anxiety as well. And then also when maybe you want more energy. Like, those are all massive incentives to tell yourself that you will get, and you will get them if you exercise regularly. And so maybe like your initial motivation, so to speak, is not really doing it for you. Maybe losing weight is like, whatever, I don't really care what other people think. I don't really care how I look, kind of thing, because I've been there. But like, I do want to feel good. I do want to sleep well. I want to have more energy, like consistently. I want to be in a better mood. I want to stave off depression and anxiety, things like that. So those are a lot of incentives. You have to trick your brain. Kind of like light tricks our brains into seeing color, into perceiving color that isn't really actually there. Because when you know how the brain works, you start to realize that, say you're trying to eat better, and you, like recently, for example, I'll use myself as an example. I had to cut out gluten completely. I mean, none. And I don't have celiac disease. That's not why. I got infected with mold while I was doing Hurricane Helene relief in Pensacola, North Carolina. And all of a sudden my body was going completely haywire. Now, I understand that, you know, a lot of that had to do with the mold infection, black mold infection. However, all of a sudden, my body was responding in the weirdest ways to the food I was eating. And I thought, this is weird. This is trippy. And I think I had probably been suffering from a moderate, like mild to moderate gluten intolerance, not a full-on allergy, but like an intolerance for most of my life, probably at least the last 20 years. And as soon as I cut it out, and I had a hard time at first because I didn't really, you know, I didn't really, well, it just wasn't something I was used to yet. But, and, you know, I really found it was really difficult. I would walk into the grocery store and I would look at the foods that I used to eat, and I would almost be ready to break out in tears because I couldn't eat any of that stuff anymore. None of it. I would go into, there's one restaurant here in Santa Barbara that I love. There's a couple of their dishes, one in particular that I just, oh my gosh, always been my favorite. Couldn't eat any of it at all anymore, not at all. And I found myself like really upset about this, like really upset. I'm not even kidding. And so but I couldn't eat it because I knew that it would make me sick. So, and this was something, I've never been on a diet in my life, like never had to. And, I found myself longing for these foods like really badly. And also like, being challenged by having to cook my food differently, having to cook different foods and cook them differently, with different ingredients, and all because of this gluten situation. And what I found was, like, you know, it's really about the inflammation in my body. It's really not about losing weight for me. It's not about any of that. It's about the inflammation in my body. Like, I'm tired of having like a inflamed digestive system, inflamed, like I could just, within the first month that I stopped eating gluten, like completely stopped, no bread, no nothing, no gluten at all. And cutting way down on sugar, especially any kind of processed sugar. I noticed an almost immediate difference. And so although I didn't immediately see an incentive to quitting, I started to see how my body reacted without it, and how much better I felt, and how much more energy I had. And that gave me more incentive. Like, I already had an incentive. The incentive was because I didn't want to be sick, frankly. I didn't want to have, like, you know, upset tummy and all that. But as time went on, I could tell myself, yeah, I like not having an upset digestive system. I like not, you know, burping and farting all night. You know, like, I mean, you know, because it keeps, like, my stomach would keep me up gurgling and, you know, gassy and ugh. And so, there were more incentives to continue to stay away from it.
I want to put them on because my feet will be cold.
And, so
But it's not, you can like see what's going on. You can probably assume.
But, I stayed away from it more and more, and the more and more I did, the more I saw these really positive effects from quitting. And so it was easier to I didn't really have to trick myself, but to see why I was doing what I was doing. And even though it was kind of painful at times, to see that there were rewards to not doing it. And the more, like I said, the more and more I did it, I'm not going to hear your conversation, ladies. Anyhow, the more and more you do it, the more and more disciplined you get, and the more you see that there are benefits to doing really hard things. And, You can apply this to anything that you're doing. It doesn't matter if it's something really, really complex and difficult, or if it's something really simple and more or less easy. It's just a matter of tricking your mind, tricking your brain, because really your brain is inside your skull. It doesn't even ever see the light of day, never. It only perceives light through your eyes. So when you understand that, your brain doesn't, when you understand the fact that your brain doesn't actually know the difference between reality and what you tell it, that, Belle, stop, please. That opens up the whole world to all kinds of possibilities that you may have never even thought of. So next time you're trying to do something really difficult, remind yourself that your words matter, that it's probably not as difficult as you're telling yourself it is, and that as soon as you start, the sooner you start, the better, because the sooner you start, the sooner you will see the benefits of doing whatever the challenge is. And once you start seeing those benefits, the ease of continuing or even being more disciplined than you initially set your goals to be, it just opens up everything. So I hope this video finds you blessed. Love, blessings, and compassion to everyone. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Peace be with you.